Hey, and welcome back to Mom's Intuition Podcast, where everything is raw and uncut. We are rated explicit, so feel free to speak as you please. Prevention of slander, we ask that you do not use any names to prevent slander cases. You can follow us on Instagram at Mom's Intuition Podcast and go on our fan page at _ Mom's Intuition Podcast. You can also find us on Twitter at _ Mom's Intuition. Go like us on Facebook at Mom's Intuition, and we post every episode on our YouTube at Mom's Intuition as well. Like our videos, subscribe, press the subscribe button, and make sure you press the notification bell to know when every time we drop a new episode. I am your co-host, Dominique, aka Dom, sitting here with my partner in crime, Tay.
Hey y'all.
So ladies, get ready to grab your tea, your drinks, and your blunts, and let's have that salon talk. Let's get into it. Today we have Asia here today. Thank you for coming on our show. So just tell the world about you, a little bit about you.
Well, I am currently a single mom. I have one daughter. She's a year and a half old. I work. I own my own house. I'm a YouTuber. I got a lot going on. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan, actually. Detroit originally. I'm in a city called Lincoln Park now.
Okay. Now, what would you say as a mom? What are some of your challenges that you have to deal with as a mother?
Well, I would say just keeping a positive attitude every day sometimes can be a challenge because it's like really stressful dealing with everything, bills and then household duties, chores, just child rearing in general. It's a lot. And trying to time manage everything, it can be stressful. That's like usually it for me, just feeling overwhelmed, like I have so much to do.
Okay. Now, would you say with your daughter, did you experience any type of postpartum?
Not necessarily. No, I didn't really have like a depression or anything. I just get frustrated, really.
Yeah, like kind of like I guess your patience is like really thin. Really thin. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Are you in a relationship?
Yes, I do have a boyfriend right now. He's been in my life for almost a year.
Okay. And now just asking, have you guys do you live together, or are you guys still living in separate homes? Have you guys moved in together?
We're still in separate homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your first impression of your partner?
Well, I mean, he's my coworker, so I just thought he was a nice guy at first. I really didn't look at him in that way. I just thought he was a nice person, a good worker, somebody that I enjoyed working with because he was like somebody I could count on, really.
Right. Okay. Now, you say you have one daughter. Do you plan on having any other children?
Yes. Saying if we get married, then I would like to have 2 or 3 more.
Okay. Now, what would be some advice that you would give single moms out there? If you could give them some advice, what's some advice that you would give for single mothers?
I would give the advice of make sure that your partner is just as ready as you are before you decide to have a kid. Otherwise, you'll probably be doing most of it by yourself, and it's not super easy. So you may want to make sure that the person that you're with is just as committed to it as you.
Okay. Now, is your daughter's father around or helping or any type of way in
Yes,
the
he does
picture?
help. Like for instance, when I go to work, I can drop her off with him usually, or I'll drop her off with my dad, depending on, his schedule or my dad's schedule. But that's, kind of the gist of it. She's with me mainly. If I'm not at work, she's with me.
Okay. And what do you do for work?
I work for the post office. I'm like a front desk person. I sell stamps and stuff.
Okay, so you got a chill job. See, I'm over here. I live in Vegas. And my sister here, she's in St. Louis. So you guys are still on the Central Time. I'm over here on Pacific Time. But
Yeah.
that is like, to me, I go to the post office very often because I do nails. I sell press-ons, and that is, to me, I feel like is the most easiest. It looks like the most chillest job to have, to just sit there and like just deal with packages, and all you have to do is, it's kind of like a routine. I see them, they're dealing with packages. It's the same questions that they ask or whatever, when they're shipping things. It looks to me, I was like, man, I wish I worked at the post office, because that job looks chill as fuck. Like, it really does. It really
Mhm.
does.
It is very chill.
Yeah. So
Okay. Go ahead,
so
Jay.
what made you want to start YouTubing?
Well, initially, I wanted to vlog like my family life. Me and my ex, we made like a few videos and stuff together, but it didn't really work out. So it just kind of became my own thing after a while. But it just initially was supposed to be like a family vlog channel.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So why you say that y'all didn't work out? Was it mutual, or was it just, how sometimes people have bad communication? Was it something with that? Like, why did you guys, break up?
You nailed it. Bad
Okay.
communication, and
Okay.
then just over time, like just probably not apologizing, I think, for things that happen, and then you like build up anger and resentment towards each other, and then it
Right.
makes you treat each other different, and then it's like once that happens, you kind of just fall out of love, and it's all downhill from
Yeah.
there.
Right. Right. Okay. How old is your
Did,
daughter?
She's a year and a half.
Okay. Okay. So
okay.
she's still like a
Yeah,
little baby.
so yeah, it's all
Okay.
recent.
Okay.
Right, right. So like did you guys ever have any, like, the conversation of having some closure towards each other, or was it kind of just you just split apart and kind of just things went from there?
Yeah, we did. We kind of realized like we've been bad for each other kind of for a while. Our relationship was pretty toxic. Like I said, just mistreating each other, not being respectful. Um, and then just over time, like that kind of stuff just builds up and
Right.
it just changes the dynamic of everything, just how
Right.
you feel about each other and stuff. So
Right. Would you change anything? Would you like backtrack to see, like, if y'all was able to start over, and like, would you able to try to work it out with him? Like, would you be what is something that you would change?
I would not work it out with him, but just
Okay.
going forward, I've learned that communication is like so important. You have to have
Right.
those uncomfortable conversations, and sometimes you have to like let your pride go. You
Right.
can't pretend like everything's all right if it's not.
Right.
Right,
I like that.
right. Yeah, no, our we say, it's okay to not be okay. We encourage people to, it's okay to seek help if you need to, whether it's you're dealing with something from trauma, pasthood, childhood, or whether it's your past relationships, anything, something that's affecting how you deal with people out in the world, or just anyone in your life, how you affects how you deal with people in your own personal relationships. We always try to encourage people, like,
Right.
try to
Yeah,
get help. It's definitely not something that you should be quiet about, or, don't silence about it. It's easier to get most of it off of your chest.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So would you say there was a moment or an event that radically happened and changed your life or the way that you see the world?
Oh man, that's a hard hitting question. Wow, I have to really think about that. I mean, I've had some life changing moments. Um, but I wouldn't even say that anything ever took me by surprise.
Hmm.
It's not that I look at the world pessimistically, but I just kind of, I guess I prepare myself for like a lot of different scenarios. So, and maybe that's not always a good thing, but I mean, like for instance, when, I became a single mom and, a household and everything all on me, when he left, that was a life changing moment, but
Right.
I just kind of changed with it. I just got
Right.
stronger, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
girl, we're women. We learned how to adapt, honey. That is our thing. We learn how to adapt very quick. And boys don't even pick up on things as quick as we do at all whatsoever. women, they're just kind of their mental is a little bit more faster
Yeah.
than boys. Okay. So, how many serious relationships would you say that you've been in?
And I've literally only been in two. The one I'm in currently and my ex.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what was the, I guess your ex would be the hardest breakup you say that you've ever had?
Yeah. But it was a no-brainer, you know, like sometimes things can happen between people that you just have to say, you know what, this is too much, you know, and
Right.
I'm willing to forgive and work things out up to a certain point, you know.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Is there anything that your parents did to you that you said you would not do to yourself or your children?
Well, um, you know, my parents both had extreme anger problems, and they uh, would get not necessarily physically abusive with us, but verbally and mentally. They would say things and just kind of make me live in fear almost. And so that's something going forward I definitely don't want to do.
Right.
That,
Right. Right. Okay. Well, what would you say your relationship is like with both your parents?
well, unfortunately, my mom died about 5 years ago, but it was decent, you know, of course, up until then, you know, until she passed. And with my dad, we're still great. I mean, he watches my daughter for me when I'm at work, like I said, sometimes. And you know, we have a good bond.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I connect with my dad more closer to, like, we're pretty tight. I'm a mom of three. I have two girls and a boy. My
Mhm,
oldest,
okay.
she's 9, my son is 2, and then my second
Mhm,
daughter, she's 5. But holidays are coming, so the youngest daughter's born on Christmas, so she's about to be 6, and then my oldest is about to
mhm.
be 10 in January. So it's a lot going on around the holidays. A lot going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, bank breakers right there.
Now,
Yeah.
with you, I guess, doing your YouTubing, did you ever think that you'll take that on as like a full-time job?
That would be wonderful. I mean, I would absolutely be dedicated like that. I mean, I would love to make more videos. I just don't always have the time because I do work full time. So it's like I just fit it
Yeah.
in when I can. But
Right.
yeah, that's the goal, like eventually. But I have less than 100 videos. So I'm thinking realistically as well. I got to put a
Yeah.
lot more work in.
Yeah, no, we're the same way. We have a pretty good amount of content. We have like maybe we're right probably at 20 episodes ourselves. Um but we're just trying to be that different platform, for women. And we've even had couples on here where we bring couples together and we ask them questions, and we do, like, it's like a nice little therapy. We bring couples closer together when they're on here, and we try to let everyone be able to tell their story.
Right.
I watched you on YouTube, and I just, listening to how you talk about the things that you were reacting to on your videos, we just connected. Literally, my husband was watching you, and he's like, there's this girl that on TV, she reminds me so much of you. He's like, you have to talk to her. You have to get to know her, because she's so much like you. And then we were watching your videos, and I was like, oh my God, she really is. Like, she's making a lot of sense. And I don't know how old you are. We usually try not to ask people, but I'll be 30 next month. So, um,
Very young.
yeah, I'm like, she's just, for her age, she's super, super smart. So that's another reason we had to definitely have you on the show. And we're going to do some things that you like to do on the reactions on your shows. You've probably seen the 2 videos that I have. But I know our audience probably hasn't. So we're going to
Yeah.
play them anyway and have a reaction to them. So let's see if we can go ahead and get the first video.
Cool.
And we are going to share this one. Give me 1 second. Um, the window. Okay. Can you guys see the video?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm about to say we just can't hear it. Well, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
Nah, I can't hear it. I
Okay,
don't know
hold
if she
on.
can. I don't know if she can hear it or not.
No, I
Can you
haven't
hear
heard
it, Asia?
anything.
Okay, hold
Uh-uh.
on. Let's see. I want to make sure everybody can hear it. Let's see. Okay. How about now? Can you guys hear it?
Mm-mm.
No, nothing yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can't hear
Okay.
anything.
This is not working. That's not gonna help me. Okay. Let's see. I have my volume and everything there. I don't know why it's making this so hard to play. Can you guys hear it now?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Well, this girl in this video is pretty much telling Kevin that she didn't agree with the fact that she's educated, she has money. Why do we need men? Um, let's see if I can get the video to. I want it to like literally play for you guys. Let me see if I do it this way, full screen. Will it play? Okay, let's see. Can you guys hear it now?
Still loading.
No, I still don't hear anything.
Yeah. I don't hear anything either. It's like we could see it's playing, but it's just not. Say anything.
That is
Yeah.
so weird. Okay. All right. Well, I tried. We can really just have to probably have to just go back to going back to just not having the video. We're gonna have to just continue with the interview, which is okay. That's totally fine. Um, I hate that that didn't work out
Yeah, it's
because
okay.
we
We can figure it
actually
out.
worked really hard on trying to get these little things. Yeah, like we were really we're working on getting those little tabs figured out, but that's okay. We can ask you a couple more questions. What do you picture your life to be like in the next 5 years and in the next 10 years?
In the next 5 years, I would love to see myself as married, maybe with a couple more kids in tow. Um, Me and my current boyfriend, like, we both own our own home, so that it would be nice to have a rental property and a house that we live in and share, and just doing more things probably together financially to better both our lives. And maybe in 10 years, maybe hopefully both the houses paid off, and just maybe working towards purchasing another one together. I mean,
Yeah.
getting into real estate is like a really good way, lucrative way to make extra money, like
Yeah.
passive income. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, my mom, she's into retail and like she's like trying to flip houses. Like she's like gotten her license and everything. She's like all for it. She said like real estate really is, which I that's the kind of thing I think about like medical. That's something that's never going to go away. I have my pharmacy tech license. So that's something like that. It's never, those are things that are just never going to go away that you can always, make money from. Of course, you want to have different streams of income. You can't double always want to have more than one for fucking sure nowadays, and it's so much easier now to have like your own business. Me and Tay, this is one of our main businesses here is our show. Um,
Mhm.
just finding different women in this world, even men. We do like to have some dads on here. We don't discriminate. We have LGBTQ couples, LGBTQ parents, things like that. Um, just to ask the same questions that, we have
Yeah.
problems in our community, and a lot of the problems in our community, especially our community, Black women, is holding themselves accountable. We spoke to someone who said that they went through a divorce, and the person just woke up and never talked to them again. And
Yeah.
I said, well, sometimes in life, if you're doing bad things, bad things happen to you. And when you're doing good things in life, good things happen to you. But and their response was more so, well, how can you say that? Because I didn't do anything.
Right.
He just woke up and stopped talking to me. I didn't do anything. But in our minds, me and Tay, we didn't challenge it, but we're sitting back and we're thinking like we should have. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't want people to think that we're co-signing or we don't know any better to
Yeah.
not correct someone on situations like that, because you're not holding yourself accountable. You cannot, you can't, there's no way in the world that you can think that this was just all one person. He just
Right.
decided to make this decision and there's nothing I could have done better to be a better wife. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's got to be
Mhm.
something that you played a part in, something that you stopped doing, something that you weren't paying attention to, something. It wasn't just him,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's like that's the problem with Black women. Like they can't hold themselves accountable. Nevertheless, sometimes some of them aren't even holding their children's fathers accountable. My girls,
Mhm.
they have a different dad. The moment he chose not to help take care of them is the moment I put you on child support. I'm going to hold you accountable. I didn't have these kids by myself.
Right.
It
Mhm.
wasn't, just my choice. This was something that we chose to do, that we made together twice now. So, yes, I'm going to hold you accountable. You're going to be on child support. But then you get these mothers that are like, oh, well, I don't need anything from him. I got this. I got it all myself. I'm independent. And it's not about you needing anything from him. It's about the child needing something from him. The child deserves to have both parents putting in the work to take
Mhm.
care of this child. And it doesn't matter if you need him or not. That's not the question. The question isn't if you need him to help you take care of your kid. He needs to be helping you take care of his kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I think a lot of times women kind of forget the fact that it's a really good thing to have a man help you just because, or if you choose to be with a woman, whoever your partner is, whoever, you need someone to help you relieve the stress so that it's not all on you. Like I was saying, how I be feeling sometimes, just overwhelmed, like having someone there to take some of the brunt is like really necessary so that you don't spaz out on your kids and take out any stress on them that you may be feeling.
Right, right, exactly. No, that's totally true. I totally agree. So, I guess you would say what things do you need? What character traits do you say that are important for you to be as strong as you are as a mom, dealing with yourself and still trying to be in well, I guess you wouldn't say you well, I guess you would say you're kind of in the dating scene. You're dating someone that you've been for like a year. And just working like what is the things that what helps you get through all of that at once?
um I mean, just self-assurance, self-accountability, um, making goals and making sure I keep them. Um, just just understanding that I have to get better every day. It's not about just doing the same thing every day. I have to do something a little extra so that I'm growing and changing, and my life is changing for the better.
Right, right. Okay. Okay. So let's say if you won the lottery, what would be something that you would buy, the first thing that you would buy, and why?
Ah, as much money as you could get, the first thing I honestly would do is just pay off any debt. Like my house, I would pay it off. Any credit card debt that I have, I'd pay off. And then I'd start turning around, putting the money into my house, investing it so that the property value would go up. And then I could, like I said, either rent it out or just flip it, sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even need a fancy vacation right away. I would definitely do the right thing with a large sum of money for sure.
Yeah, right. Thinking with your head on right. No, you're thinking with your head on right. So, what values would you say that are important to you in life?
Uh, Family, being kind to other people, loving one another. I mean, just because our reputation, who we are, and like our legacy, that's the most important thing. That's the only thing that we technically take with us. We don't know what happens to us, and when we leave this world, but the most important thing that we need to do while we're here is just make sure we're leaving a good impact in some way. Because
Yes, and very much so.
I think everybody has a gift, like if it's just a gift of communicating with other people and helping them rectify problems in a relationship or just get out what they need to, whatever message. I mean, everything is a gift. We just have to tap into it and see what it is.
Well said. Well said. Okay, so let me ask you this. A lot of people take the word submit and they use it, they make it sound like it's so bad when they talk about submitting in their relationships. Um, I've been with my husband 5 years, and Tay has been with her husband almost 12 years. They got married when they were 18, very, very young. My first relationship with my girl's father, I was with him for about 5 or 6 years. Um, and then I moved from St. Louis to Dallas. That's where I met my son's father. Then we moved from Dallas to Reno, then back to Dallas. And I loved the West Coast so much when we lived in Reno. I was like, oh, well, let's move to Vegas. That's where everything is at. It's 6 hours away from Reno. And I love the West Coast. So I just wanted to be there. We just packed up our stuff one day and we just did it, and we've been out here now almost 3 years and we love it. We wouldn't change it for anything. But people put that word submit and they make it like it sounds so bad, or it's like you're just letting some man tell you what to do, when it's way more than that. Me and Tay try to explain it as much as we can on this platform. How can you explain it a little bit better? And what do you believe about the word submitting in your relationship?
I believe it's just having a certain level of respect for your man and his opinion, um, kind of letting him be that lead role and listening to
Mm-hmm.
him, not necessarily letting him control your whole life, but just in a way where it's like, okay, he's the one who's going to lead us and guide us. He can make kind of the better decisions. That's just how I was raised. The father makes kind of the main decisions, and for me, I do see it as important to have like a man in the household. I think it keeps us as women grounded, because a lot of times when we're just left to our own devices, of course we can go on the over emotional end, and we tend to make decisions like that, and men tend to make decisions more logically, and you'll just have a better chance of just getting through life in a logical sense than an emotional one. So for me, submission to a man is important and probably necessary for a woman
Yeah.
to have like a good life.
Right. Okay, so what would you say, how comfortable do you have to be to have these uncomfortable conversations where you're holding your deepest, darkest secrets and you're telling your partner? How do you go about trying to trust someone when you don't want them to weaponize it against you, if you've had past relationships where it's trauma with it, but this is a whole new relationship? You're trying not to bring the past there, but I understand you still be a little bit more cautious. But how comfortable do you have to be to have those uncomfortable conversations with your partner?
I don't know, but it's more about being comfortable with yourself, because at the end of the day, it's not going to really matter what they think. If they can't handle the truth, then they're not for you anyway.
Right.
Mm.
Right. Okay, that's what's up. No, that's what's up. I totally agree with that. um So let me ask you this. In a marriage, do you think everything should be shared? Like for instance, let's talk about the trending topic, Jada Pinkett. She decided to tell the entire world that she was bored with her sex life with Will, and it's not as good as it used to be, and it's tough for her now. I know
Um,
personally Jada's going through something, and she's kind of, going about it in a different light. I don't know if it's necessary to be public like that. Um, but what do you think? Do you think things should be shared like that? Do you think, is that something you tell your partner? When do you feel comfortable to tell your partner, hey, our sexual life just isn't what it is anymore? Like, you know what I mean?
I think that those conversations definitely need to be had. I just don't think they need to be had in a public sense. What she's maybe trying to do is just like, build up, some views or something. Maybe the more controversy that they can bring up, the more people will watch. But at the end of the day, that's not going to be conducive to a healthy relationship. Putting your man's like sex problems out for other people, like that's probably going to be an exact way to turn him off. Like I'm pretty sure that's not going to make
Right.
him happy. But the conversation has to be had with him. I mean, because if you don't let him know, like, hey, we got to spice it up a little bit, because most of the time men don't have a problem letting us know when we need to do
Right.
something different. So it's like we need to
Right.
have those conversations too, because our needs and desires are just as important.
Right, right, right. See, and it's like some people don't think that women have those desires though. And it's like, I mean, I guess it also does depend on how sexual a person you are. To me, I think in relationship sex is very, very important. I think a lot of people's problems wouldn't be problems if they were having sex in their relationship, and if it was good sex in their relationship, not just having pity robotic, sex. I'm talking about like having good sex with your partner and you enjoying it after 5 years, me being able to say it's still like it's like it was the first time I met you. Like that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about someone that, okay, it's the same way every time, it's very robotic, you're not even making a noise when you guys do it. You're just staring at each other in this awkward ass way. You know what I
Oh
mean?
God, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I think it's very important to have sex in a relationship. How important do you think it is? Like when it's time to spice it up, what would you do in your situation to like bring something different to the table?
Well, for me, um, sex is really important in a relationship. I think that's what keeps things, happy and excited. I'm sorry, my brother's actually walking in. Sorry
It's
for the
okay.
background noise, but
No, you good.
yeah, I think it's important. And I mean, for me personally, I don't want to be in a relationship that's sexless. That sounds horrible. Like I mean, we got to change it up. I mean, if we got to go and get some different outfits, or I get a wig and I can be somebody else different for the night, stuff like
Right.
that. It can make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Don't you hear what
talking
she
about.
said? What is that a Megan going on? What she said? Try wigs like you cheated.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
No, I mean, I think in a lot of people, some people can give up. You know what I mean? And I hate to see sex just break up for people's relationships when those things can be fixed. Like, you know what I mean? You can talk about those things, you can work those things out. They have Adam and Eve stores, hustler stores for places like this for you to change it up, and you guys can kind of find out more about each other. You find out more about what you may like or what I may like. You know what I mean? It actually, to me, brings you closer, if anything, when you do try, new
Yeah,
things. So,
yeah.
okay. So, what would you consider the perfect romantic date? What is the perfect date for you?
Oh, um, any restaurant that probably serves wine, and I can get a good meal, and then maybe come home afterward and sit in front of a fireplace, and we can watch a really either funny movie or maybe a horror flick, whichever. And maybe sip a little more and, just talk, relax. I like stuff like that, like just eating good, drinking good, and relaxing.
Yes, no, I girl, I'm just like that too. Take me somewhere nice where I can relax. Like that's my first date with my son's father. He took me to a spot. First we went out for sushi and I was like, okay, so where are we going? And I was like, he's like, oh, we're gonna go to a place. I think it was called like King's Island or something. And I was just like, to me, I'm thinking this is some little kiddie theme park. And I'm like, we already dropped the kids off, so I don't understand why we're going to some fucking theme park. But okay. So, but we get there and it was like this really nice spa, and they had all these little jacuzzis everywhere, and you just have these drinks, they have food, they have TVs, and it was like a whole vibe. Like they had one jacuzzi where it was like it looked like it was an ice stone mountain, and it was kind of cooler in there with like air being blown and breezed, and so you could see like the smoke on top of the hot water. Like it was really really nice. It made you feel like you were in like Iceland somewhere. It was
Mm.
really really nice. But yeah, I'm like that. Take me somewhere I can relax and I can enjoy some things.
Yeah, that sounds like a nice date.
Yeah, no, it was like pretty totally fine. One of the best dates I've ever been on for a first date. He won that one. Okay. So, let's see. What scares you the most? And is it the same thing that scared you as a child?
Um, what scares me the most? I guess to me, just being ill in any old kind of way. Just being ill, physically ill to where I can't maintain my life. Like that would be the scariest thing to me.
Okay. Okay. Now, what do you love most about motherhood, and what do you love most about being in a relationship, being a girlfriend?
Being a mom, the best thing is just like waking up and seeing her smiling face. Like somebody who loves me, you know, that much is just awesome.
Yeah.
Like being that world to somebody. And then being in a relationship, just having that bond. Like I don't know what it is about him, but whenever I'm around him, it just makes me feel happy. Like it's just he's just a really cool person. Our personality is just vibe, but there's not one complaint I have about him. Like, he's just mannerable and just such a good dude. Like, I don't know. Just makes me happy.
Well, now, are you dating someone your age, or did you go older?
He's a couple years older than me, not much. I think he's like 35. I'm 33.
Oh, okay, okay. So you're not that far. Yeah, no, I had to date somebody older than me. He's at least 7 years older than me. He'll be 37 in May, and I'll be 30 in December. So yeah, no, I had to go for somebody older. I felt like I dated someone my age, and it was not what was up. Like the fact that they're not on the same level, even at the same ages that we are. The fact that I'm way more mature than you are, so I have to get someone way older than you because they need to be on the same mature level that I'm on at this young age that I am.
Yes.
And I even started dating guys who were older when I was a teenager. I was dating guys that were in their 20s. It was always just, I never liked to date guys that even were the same age. Or I've even saw guys that were like 6 months younger than me, and I just couldn't do it. I just can't do it. I don't want anybody younger than me. I always have to have someone that was older than me. So it was, it was definitely, yeah, I have to date someone older than me. But as far as your relationship, now you said you guys been together for a year. Is your plan and your goal to like eventually get married?
Yes. I'm just waiting for him to make that decision. I don't want to, ask him to marry me, so I'm waiting on him. But we've talked about it. He definitely wants children and stuff like that. And um, we have some of the same goals for the future in mind. So I can see it happening.
How important do you think it is to have the same goals? Like, because some people say like opposites attract and stuff like that, but then there also is a point where you guys do need to have the same goals, like going towards things. How important do you say that is to you?
It's vital. It's vital for the survival. Just knowing my previous relationship and how we had opposite ends of what we wanted for the future. He wanted his own, happiness and securing his own bag for his own personal reasons. He didn't even see probably me in the future, and so that kind of thing will break a relationship eventually. You have to want the same things. Otherwise, how can you build? What are you going to be building? Two
Right.
different houses on the same lot? You know what I mean? That you have to come
Yeah.
together at some point.
Okay. Okay. No, that's real. That's real. That's real. Um. Okay. So, Tay, you got something you wanted to ask?
Yeah. So, do you think your daughter likes your boyfriend?
Yes, I think she does. I mean, she enjoys hanging out with him. He's super nice to her. He's always like surprising her with little stuff. So she really enjoys it. And he has dogs, and she's like her dogs are her spirit animals, so she's already all in off of that.
Okay.
Do
So,
so? Do he have kids?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
oh, okay. Okay. She
Okay.
got somebody with no kids. Okay, girl. Look
Yeah.
at you. Now, being a mom with a child, and because I was in that situation, having to like know when it is the time to tell this partner, hey, I have kids, you need to be around them. In my situation, I more so was like, hey, my kids and me are a package. So you need to know I got kids right now. And no, they don't have to go on a date with us. We got a babysitter for them for our first date. But maybe by like the third or fourth date, the kids were going on the dates with us because it's kind of like, I wanted to bring it to your attention now that this is the package you're dealing with. How would you say you went about it? Did you just say up front, hey, I have a daughter, or were you more so like, hey, I gotta get time to know you before I bring my daughter around you? Like, how was it for you?
Well, in my scenario, it's a little different. He kind of was around her from the beginning because we worked together. So I've been knowing him for the last 3 years. And so he
Okay.
knew, when I was with my ex, he knew when I was pregnant and stuff, and he knew when we broke up, he knew why we broke up. And then he kind of just told me like I've had feelings for you for a while, and now that you're single, I would like to get to know you more. And at first I was a little reluctant because I mean, obviously I just got out of a relationship. I was worried about people judging me because I had a baby and stuff. And
Yeah.
but then I kind of got past it because I'm like, well, for my future, what I want in a partner, this person actually makes the or meets the standard, the quota or whatever. He's the guy, so to pass him up or to turn him down, or go back to my ex just because he's my baby's father is like stupid.
Right.
This person is better for my life in actuality. So
Right. Okay. Okay. So when do you think it will be like the right time? Like, when do you say is the right time for you guys to move in together since you guys are living in separate homes? Like, what is it gonna take when you guys get to like that level?
I know it may sound kind of like weird or something for me to put this I guess put this like goal for him, but I really want to be married before we get into the living together mode and having kids, just because of what happened to me. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I got duped. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
feel like somebody pretended like they wanted all this and then they really didn't, because clearly
Right.
you didn't. And so I just want to make sure that he's in for the long haul. I want that ring. I got to have that title before I do it all again, because I just don't want what happened again.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that totally makes sense. That totally makes sense. Okay. So, do you
So you
travel
want
a
to wait?
lot?
So you want to wait till like y'all get married in order to move in together?
Yes, yes, and I kind of let him know, I'm getting older, so if you want kids and stuff, we might need to think about doing this sooner rather than later. So he
Yeah.
knows, and it's gonna be up to him.
Yeah, you still got time. You're 33. You still got like what? I think it's best to have them before you're 40, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, as long as you have them before you're 40, you still got some time. I think I'm with you on that. I feel like he needs to start thinking about it like sooner because, you know, I mean, like having the baby is going to be a process, getting pregnant is going to be a process. You got to go 9 months into like even just trying to get pregnant. It doesn't always happen the first time. You know, when I was trying to get pregnant with all of my children, the first two, it didn't happen like the first time for me. It was like I had a couple periods and I'm like, dang, we got to try again. We got to try again. It hasn't happened. So, yeah, it's definitely something he needs to be thinking about that needs to be on
Right.
his mind for sure. Okay. Okay. So, what would you picture your wedding day like? What's your perfect wedding day?
Hmm. Well, I kind of picture myself in a white dress. I wanted one that was um, like an empire waist and my hair up, red lipstick, everybody that I love there, my daughter, you know, dressed in a pretty little dress and then, you know, just holy matrimony hopefully after that like
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you say that you guys have been together for a year. Would you say anything in your relationship has changed from the time that you guys started dating to now?
I've seen that I've gotten a lot more comfortable and close with him. I've learned him and his needs, so I've just gotten a lot better. I want to say because at first I was so reluctant and scarred, I guess, from my ex that I wasn't exactly the easiest person to date. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like real standoffish just because I just wasn't sure. I mean, I'm thinking like, you're just saying that. You don't really know me. You don't know the situation. I have a baby. You don't know all the stuff that comes along with having this baby. She's not
Right.
yours. I'm like thinking, you don't really want this. But,
Right.
you know, he kind of convinced me otherwise. So,
Yeah, no, I know, I get that. I'm in therapy. I've been going for like 3 years now. And I had to learn with telling my therapist, I was like, I think I'm afraid of believing that someone loves me. Like, I think I'm afraid of like, do I feel like I don't deserve it? Or is it like, why does it seem like it's too good to be true? Because I'm constantly pushing someone away when they're getting too close because I have abandonment issues or I have neglect issues from my past childhood. So I'm so used to somebody just giving up or just walking away. And that in my mind, I would wait or do things or just wait for certain things to happen to say, oh, is this the time you're going to walk away yet? Or is this the time that you're going to leave, you know? And it was kind of like I had to learn to say, okay, it's okay that somebody loves you. Like, not everybody is going to leave you. Like, there's going to be some people that are going to care about you, that are going to want to be there for you, and they're going to want to stick around for you no matter what you go through. Like, your life could be super dramatic, but I can say like my son's father, he sticks through with it all. Like he does it all with me. Like, I mean, it's hard dealing when you have two different babies' fathers because one can't get over the fact that you have another one. So battling with them and with courts and things like that, like, and for him to stick by, he actually stepped in, you know, before my girl's father did anything because he was never that type of father. He didn't do for my girls. My son's father has been around for my daughter, my youngest daughter, since she was 10 months. So all she knew was my son's father. That
mhm.
was her dad to her. And he's just been around and taking care of him. He never, like, my girl's father never wanted to step in until he, you know what I mean, stepped in. And it's just like, it's so important to try to keep the peace. I swear. Like I think it's hard for some men to understand that it is just about the children. You know what I mean? I think they take it too personal and they don't understand that the whole point in this, it's not about me, it's not about you. Like the point is that we should just be coming together to make sure that we're taking care of these kids. That's it.
Yes.
Like that's all that is important right now. But when you're focusing on other things and other shit, it just makes everything else so much more complicated. It really does. It really does. And I can say I can say I'm my second relationship. I can relate a lot to you because this was like my only serious relationships I've ever been in as well. This was like my second one, and the first one was with my girl's father. So it seemed like since I already found out what I didn't want in a relationship, I went into my second one knowing, okay, those things I don't like, those are red flags. Any of those, I'm walking away. I need you to be different for me because I'm so used to this. And just getting different reactions because I'm dating someone totally different state, different area. It definitely helped. And I want to ask you, with your daughter, like being around him, do you see him being like a good potential stepfather? How well is he with her?
I do. I honestly do. Like, he's not the type of person that catches an attitude if, he needs to help me in some kind of way. I don't even need to ask him to help me do stuff. He's already doing it. And it's just the difference there is mind blowing, because it's
Right.
like, I'm not even trying to put her dad down or nothing, but when he was around, it was like pulling teeth sometimes, trying to get him to help in some ways. And even like right after I had her, it'd be like, I just had a baby. You expect,
Yeah. Yeah, you expect some help there, especially after you just had a baby. Tay just had a baby herself.
oh yeah,
Um,
congratulations.
and he's 5 months, I believe now. And
Um,
that's her baby number 5. She has all the children's. Her and her husband have all the kids, and I know you guys are gonna have some more. I'm telling
wow.
you, I know you guys are. I know you're gonna have more.
Who gonna have some more kids?
You and Jonathan, trust me, y'all gonna have some more children. Trust me.
I like that.
You don't believe birth control exists, so y'all are gonna have some more kids. Oh,
Uh-uh.
I
Well,
see it.
you said
No,
Tay,
look,
you've
no,
been
not me.
well, you said that you've been married for 12 years. How did you like being so young? How did you make it work so
Yes,
long?
girl, it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It was very hard. Like, we got married at 18 while my husband was in the military, and it was hard. Like, my husband thought he was
Tay, you're breaking up.
oh my god, he thought he was the shit, y'all. It was really hard and challenging, but we had the times where
Tay, you're breaking up. Get to a spot where you can be heard. And you've been muted. Your camera's on mute.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's on there now.
Daddy, I like this house because it's big. Hear me?
I hate technology. This is so
Tells
stupid.
us when we need it.
Right? Tay, can you hear us?
It's frozen, I think.
I think it's frozen. Yeah, well, I remember when they got married. They've been married for a very, very long time. I commend her for that because whew, that is still growing together, learning each other, and a lot of people, when they do date their high school sweethearts, most of them do grow apart, because they are growing together, still not knowing each other. They're growing up themselves. But him and her, I can actually say they're a solid couple, man. And they've been through a lot of stuff. They've been through the adultery and things like that, but they've never, they've always corrected it. They wanted their marriage to work, and they were young when the stuff like that was happening. Like in the last past 10 years, that's not their life story. You know, now they've been together for so long. They're not even arguing over the same things that they were arguing over, 12 years ago. So,
That's good.
just being with someone that long, I'm trying to imagine because I'm going on 5 years and they say it's like the 5 year mark is when you find when you finally are going to be tested in your marriage, like, and I'm just like, I'm trying not to go with the whole little myths and things like that, you know what I mean? Because at the same time, they say a lot of things. And to me,
They,
I feel like you're tested in every year of your
yeah,
marriage because all types of stuff happens and things that you have to deal with and get through together. And it's a never ending cycle. If it's not one thing, it's another always. And I feel like they test you and your partner to see how strong are you guys to get through these things. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
And I think people shouldn't box themselves up and say, oh, well, this, will be a deal breaker because you can forgive and you can, I mean, that's what relationships are. It's all about forgiveness and sacrifice. So it's like if you have those two things, you can get through pretty much anything.
See, and that's what we also, used to ask people, like, are you the type of person where if you're married, let's say you get cheated on, are you just like, screw it, you cheat on me once, you're done, it's whatever? Or do you go about it and do you try to work it out? Do you try to figure out why this happened and what we can do to change it?
I feel like it really depends on the circumstance because, like, if I've been, a little naughty myself or a little rude, disrespectful, and negligent in my relationship, and then you cheat, I can't very well be surprised. But if
Yeah.
I'm doing literally everything I can, bending over backwards, and you still on some stuff, then that just means you're a selfish person that doesn't really love me. And then I do
Right.
have to move on.
Right. Yeah, no. Circumstances, I can say that's true. They do matter. They do matter. Okay, so do you have like any siblings or are you only child?
Yeah, I do have one brother.
Okay,
He's like
okay,
he's 2 years older than me, almost.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So you don't have like a huge family, or do they all live in Michigan with you, or did you move away from your family?
For the most part, my immediate family does live in Michigan. I do have like aunts and uncles and stuff like that out of state, but you know, for the most part, the people that I'm really close with are here.
Okay, okay. So let me ask you this. Let's say you were in a situation where, of course, you have a daughter. Let's say you have a family member that is very toxic, and this family member, they're supposed to be like close to you. Let's say it's a grandma, and it's very, very toxic, but you want that child to have that relationship, but you also don't want the toxic acidity, whatever you want to say, to wear off on that child. The grandparent undermines you, she disrespects you, she even does it in front of the child. Or are you the type that where you can just say, you know what, I don't care who you are, I'm cutting you off completely, I don't want to mess with you? Like, how would you handle a situation like that?
Well, that's hard because the kind of, to be honest, the kind of person that I am, I'm the kind of person that I'm like blood over like a lot of things, like I'll deal with family, messing up because I try to have like an unconditional love. That's kind of how my mom raised me, like, when it comes to my bro and, my dad and my stepmom, like I have like an unconditional love for, so it's like my dad, my brother, they can probably get away with a lot. Now other people, yeah, there's definitely some lines that are clearly drawn, but it's like they would have to really, really mess up. Like,
Yeah.
they would have to really, really mess up. But for the most part, they're cool. So I don't thankfully have to worry about that.
Right. Okay. What would you say was your biggest regret in life?
Man, I would say not having more patience and understanding for my mom when she was around. I was really young and I had to kind of be like a caretaker, and I didn't have the patience that I should have had when she was around. So if I could go back, I would have definitely been a lot more just understanding.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what would you tell your younger self? What advice would you
Um,
give?
I would just tell my younger self that this too shall pass, and you're going to get through it. Just stay strong. Don't get angry. Just stay calm. No matter what, just stay calm, because you can't make the wrong move if you're calm. But when you're making a decision or doing something out of anger or frustration or whatever you're feeling, it's going to be the wrong one.
Right. Okay. Okay. So do you think that there are certain roles between men and women that they should have?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, when it comes to financial stuff in this day and age, I mean, more than likely the woman is going to have to work and help. But, um, and so if that's the case, then some of the household duties should be definitely split up. Like, we're not going to have a situation where I'm just doing every daggone thing and paying, half of the
Yeah.
bills and mortgage and stuff like that. Like, we're going to have to be 50-50. We're going to have to help out in some ways, and some stuff around the house is going to be probably my job, my duty, because I'll have the tenacity to be a little more diligent and clean, and maybe you'll do stuff that requires more heavy lifting.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. So how big would you say the word communication and compromise, how important are they in a relationship?
Pretty much the entirety of a relationship.
Well, and what would you say is first? What would you say you must have if you had to choose one or the other?
Communication. You got to let people know how you feel, and not just about how you feel. You got to be willing to listen to how they feel.
Yeah, they say some people they're listening to respond instead of listening to hear or something like that. It's something like that.
Yeah.
It's certain ways like that. Okay. So let me see. What if you could go back as a child, would you change anything that made you who you are today?
Hmm. Would I go back and change anything? I guess I would be like a little more outgoing and try to make more friends. I feel like I was a really quiet kid and I probably missed out on a lot not being more sociable.
Okay. 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 Have you ever done anything impulsive and how did it go?
Mm, yeah, when I was in my 20s, I did a lot of impulsive shopping, drinking, partying. Most of the time, it ended in a bad deal, like fights, arguments with people, and just unnecessary drama, you know, flat
Okay.
tires, stuff like that.
So as a child, what would you say what's the most trouble you ever got in?
Hmm. I've done a lot of things I never really got caught for, but I guess there was one time, like, I had destroyed this girl's artwork because she had originally destroyed mine, and so I had drew some like boobs or something on hers. Like, we had to draw ourselves, and I completely messed hers up. I drew some boobs on it because she like scribbled all over mine. I ended up with a detention from that. That was like
Oh
the worst
wow.
thing that ever
Wow.
happened.
Okay, okay. So, have you ever dreamed that you wanted to live anywhere else, whether it's in the United States or out of the country?
Yes, I would definitely consider living in another state. I don't know about another country because I just don't know how their customs are. Although I
Right.
have heard there's just racism and stuff. What are you doing? Don't do that, please. Sorry.
Really
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know about another country, but definitely I wouldn't mind living on a coast state like where I can go to the beach as often as I want to, be in the
Yeah.
sun. Beach.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a plus. It's a plus. And I just like that I wouldn't live in Cali, but I like that I'm close enough to Cali that if I want to go to the beach, I could drive 3 hours. It's not that bad. I want to go to San Diego. I can drive 4 hours a different way. It's not that bad, but I'm so terrified of living on a coastal. Like living in New York or Miami or California, I just would never do it. I think the hurricanes are too much, the earthquakes are too much. We barely feel like we sometimes feel a little bit of the earthquakes here, but we don't have the ocean being a coast for us. You know, we're like Vegas is in a crater, and if anything, we're more so going through a drought because the water that we do have here has been so hot this last past summer. It got up to 125 degrees.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was the water that we have in our little river, Lake Mead. It's just been going down lower and lower and lower. So we have certain restrictions on like water days and how many days you can water a week. And now, since it's November, you can only water 1 day a week all the way till February.
What
So,
is the temperature like now in November?
well, it's the temperature is great. It's 70, 80 degree weather. It gets like this all the way up until like February. February it starts getting a little chilly. It's like maybe 50-degree weather. That's
Oh,
when it
wow.
starts getting cold, but as far as any other time, like at night, it may be like maybe 55, 60, a little chilly, but during the day, no, it's beautiful. It's great. That's another
Wow.
reason why I moved here. I love it. I haven't seen a lick of snow. I haven't seen no ice, no hail, no none of that. And it doesn't even rain here as often. That's another reason why we had to like really preserve on water this year. But we got more rain this year than we have ever had in the last past couple years.
Okay.
So, hey,
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 she's
cutie.
getting clingy on me now. She must be hungry.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, Asia, I ain't gonna hold you up. Go ahead and let you do your mommy duties. I want to thank you so much for being on our show. I definitely want to invite you back so that we can do a part two.
Okay.
And that way we can fix our screens and get that fixed. That way we can play the clips and actually do it the right way we wanted to. So
For
I
sure, for sure.
definitely thank you so much. I love everything that you had to say.
Thank
Please,
you.
please, please come back for another show of part two. That would be so great. We loved you. Thank you so much. And we will send you the links and your information. And guys, you have now tuned in on another episode of Mom's Intuition. And you know what we say? It's okay not to be okay. Bye.
Bye. Thanks again.
Bye.
Okay, we gotta put this down now and then. Okay, I'm about to get you.